场快攻的机会，三线快攻找到张真玉，哇，这个被摸掉，哇，钱肯尼把球救回来，这是一个关键的超节。这球发球中锋，这是一个真球。时间不多了，马克要发动了，对方才有犯规的可能，结果他的球掉了，比赛结束。哇，结果是用一个再见。
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, let's go, baby. Let's go.
我觉得打死不退吧，打死不退吧，就是你知道你刚上来，经验比较少，那能做什么东西是你最能够发挥，或最能够被人家看到的，就是防守。对，我刚出来的时候什么都不会，一个傻精在上场，对啊。我就贴着你，我死命跟你缠嘛。我个人其实没什么太多兴趣，我的兴趣就是看比赛。对，去年我们有两个联赛，两个联赛比赛几乎我都看。有时候在场上就很多东西是经验，你就是不断的去分析，一定会有你做不好的时候。我认为啦，我自己认为，不管你是再年长的球员，你一定都会在场上有很迷惑的时候，因为其实篮球来得很快嘛。一定都会有处理的不好，或是分析的不好，或是你这个判断判的不好的时候，对。但是就是比的是几率嘛，没有经验选手可能他只有30%判断的好，那有经验选手大概60-70%可以判断很好。那我觉得努力吧，就是尽力朝这个方向去做。
防守这一块应该是高中、大学的时候吧，因为那时候想要争取第1级奖学金嘛，然后那时候。因为自己的身材在美国也不算特别的突出，当然那时候大学教练就设定我，就觉得说，就是你上去，就是你先从防守做去争取上场时间嘛。我觉得就是要 take it personal， 就是可能就是防守他突然进了一球，然后我就会去想象那球，我就会去想，还是我防得不够好被他进了，还是我已经做到我该做的被他进这样子，所以。我就是会把它变成一个 pride 吧，就是有些人就是我跟你对位，我就我不会想要让你在我头上得分，或者我不会想要你吃我这样子。教练说过一句话，就是你进攻会失常，你防守永远不会失常。防守不用靠手感，防守不用靠，就是你只要认真努力，然后判断好，你就可以永远都是那样子的防守，就是防守才能赢得比赛。
Defense is a lot of just effort. It's not really like offensively you can work on a lot of different mechanics or ball handling or shooting, but like on defense it's just effort, playing hard, and like knowing your angles really. You know, it's hard to work on like it's not like this like shooting. It's really just about knowing who you're guarding. And so the best way to get good at defense is to like watch film on who you're about to guard, or like know their tendencies, know their habits. Usually to tell like who is a good defender is just you see like how much effort they put into it. Like for example, like Young, you know, he's not like the biggest guy, but he puts so much effort into the defense when he is playing that automatically everyone says, okay, he's a good defender, you know.
去年到今年，教练给我的角色的定位都在防守，就是类似小3D 的角色吧。然后蛮敢跟对手去碰撞对抗，就是我不会害怕碰撞，就是加强自己的对抗，然后去弥补这个身高比较不足的部分。因为毕竟现在教练比较常把我放在2号位。就是可能其他队2号位可能就也有180几到190这样，就是自己就多用一些脚步移动啊，然后身体对抗去弥补这个身高不足的部分。
Back in America, I was playing in these like Asian tournaments, like Asian player tournaments, and I did well in one of them. Got like MVP of the tournament, and then somebody walked over to me and asked me like, oh, why don't I try and go play in Asia? And then I told him like I've always been wanting to. I just never really got in touch with the right people and stuff like that. And he said he was gonna help out. And I want to say about 1 month later, he contacted me through WhatsApp and basically said like, oh, I got contacted with the Dreamers agent, and he started a group chat, and we just went from there. He just said, oh, are you willing to come play in Taiwan? And with my mom being from Taiwan, I was like, oh yeah, of course. And they were actually in the middle of the season, so he was like, okay, can you come in the next 2 weeks? And I was like, okay. And I packed my bags and I came over here when I was like 13 or 14, and maybe even younger, because I remember coming and like it was so different for me, and but I wasn't old enough to really appreciate how Taiwan was as far as like a society. And so when I was younger, it was just like, okay, and I was with my grandpa, so of course we're going to all the local day markets, and I'm watching the the chickens get their heads cut off and stuff like that. So like I was like so weirded out, like, oh, this is different, but when I came back this time, I was like, okay, I actually really like Taiwan. It's very easygoing. So like, of course I was raised in America, but like I said, like my family was very cultured, as far as like we our mannerism is the same as Taiwanese, like how we live our lives and how we respect the elders and stuff like that. Like in America, it's not really pushed on, but in Taiwan, I think like in Taiwan culture, like you get taught to like live life in a different motivation in a way. Like you more so just want to take care of your family and make sure like everyone's very close and tight knit. And when I was younger, that's what my family was trying to push the most. On the other side, like I have like darker skin, or I don't look Taiwanese, so like of course like I get both sides. So usually when people ask, like I just fall into the stereotype of what people think, and then especially in America, because like racism and prejudice is a big thing now, right? So like I just fall into it and I just say, okay, yeah, I'm smart like a Taiwanese, and then I'm an athlete like an African American, like, and that's what I just tell people, and then oh, okay, and they leave it alone. For like the first 48 hours after I got the message, like I read the message and I translated, of course, and then I'm like, okay, I see where this is going. And then I asked Doug, like, okay, so before I assume, like, can you tell me what this says? And then Doug told me what it says, and then that's not my first time getting a message like that. Like, since I've played for the Dreamers, and I'm not saying like, oh, it has anything to do Dreamers. I'm just saying like, it happens more often than what people know. That message, like, part of me is like, okay, just let it go. It's fine. It happens. But then part of me, like, I got really sad. Like, I did like tear up a little bit, because like, for me, like, I came here and like, this is my home. So like, to read messages like that, like I was just like, damn, like I did so much to make myself a home here, and I did, and I do love like how things are here. But then like the fact that that isn't the first time, of course it bothers me, because like you said, there's little things like that I hear people say that it makes me upset, because I'm just like, okay, this isn't really about basketball. And that's where it gets me. Like, I can handle the criticism on basketball, like, or I can handle stuff they say that I need to do better, or maybe, oh, he's not really a local, if they're talking about basketball. But when they talk about like me as a person, it's like, okay, well, I have Taiwan blood in me. Like, I know I have darker skin, but I actually do have Taiwan blood in me. My mom is from Taiwan. You know what I mean? So, like I said, for the first 48 hours, like, I had a bunch of people message me, you know, supporting me. And I really appreciate all those people. Like, I got over like 500 messages on my Instagram, like, from people. And on one end, it means a lot. And then on the other end, like I said, like, it doesn't stop the next person from sending it. I'm at a point now where, I mean, it happened Sunday. So I'm at a point now where I'm just like, okay, it's fine. I leave it alone. But like I said, like, you know, my wife is also mixed. You know, she's South African and Taiwanese, and she goes through the same thing. Like, just a quick story, like, one time we were walking out of the zoo, and an older lady was on her bicycle, like, going past us on the sidewalk, and she stopped her bicycle, and, like, she turned around, and she said in Chinese, like, my wife and I understand enough to know what she was saying, and she was like, get out of here, you black dogs, like, get the hell out of, like, Taiwan, like, get out of here, go. And then, like, we turned around and looked at her, and then she turned around and started coming towards us and was, like, basically, like, shooing us like we were dogs. And, like, that's just, like, one of the things, you know? So, like, that's where, like, of course, like, you know, that's where I get upset and sad. And even now, like, sometimes, like, it's like, okay, it's fine. And then when I really think about it, it's like, it's not fine. It's not okay. You know what I mean? Like, it's, people just say ignore it. You can't ignore it. It comes straight to my face. You know what I mean? Like, what can I do? You know, I just came here to play basketball, live a good life. I don't give anybody trouble. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, cause any problems with the team or anything, you know? So that's where I get upset, because I try so hard to just stay on my own path and just stay focused on basketball, my wife, my family, and my friends, you know? We have friends where, like, they're mixed, but with other, like, let's say, like, Steven Genchert or Randy. They're not looked at as, like, a real local, but they also don't deal with, like, the racism and prejudice side as much as we do, because we're African Americans, or, you know what I mean, darker skin color, right? Like, that's where, like, people don't think about that part of it. They just say, oh, you guys are all mixed. Like, no, we are all mixed, but, like, I deal with different stuff than they deal with. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's hard. It's hard to talk about a lot of times. So. It's more than just the fact that I'm a mixed person. You know what I mean? Like, it's just what I'm mixed with or what my color is, not necessarily, like, who I am as a person. And that's what hurts me, because, like, I'm so nice to all my fans. I'm so nice to everybody. I'm always smiling, you know? So then, like, just because, like, oh, I'm a tough guy on the court, and, like, it doesn't mean, you know, I that's why I reposted what that guy said to me, and I just said, I'm a human. You know, it doesn't, I'm not, like I told you, the lady was saying, I'm not a black dog. I'm not, you know, it doesn't matter if I'm just Taiwanese or just black. Like, nobody should talk to each other that way. Especially, like I said, I don't have any problems with anybody. I don't give problems to anybody, you know? So that's why it did hurt me when I read it. And, but, like, I'm lucky to have, like, a lot of people around me to, you know, keep me focused. Not for, say, ignore it, but just keep me focused on what I'm here for. You know what I mean? What makes me happy.